One of my favorite under $10 wheel strategy stocks went on sale. So you already know I backed that truck up and sold some puts. Let me show you. Yo, what is going on, premium chasers? I hope you're having a God blessed day. If you want the full Ark Options Strategy ebook that's going to show you the 5 potential income sources, cash secured puts, covered calls, cash secured put interest, appreciation sales, and of course dividends. If you want that full ebook, drop a comment down below. I'll personally send it over to you, and hit that like button and that subscribe button. But guys, today we have another update to the public portfolio. If you're not following along, I basically created an account, put $5,000 into it, and then we're going to light it on fire together. Jokes aside, there was a position that I took yesterday. So I want to share it with you guys because I want to share you guys any single move that I make in this portfolio. So if you like that stuff, make sure you're tuning in. Oh, and just quickly, whenever you see like live in the top right-hand corner on the thumbnail, that's going to be like an update video, just FYI, if you care. But let's get into it. So what did I get into? Well, I got into Snapchat. You guys know every time I've talked about cheap wheel strategy stock videos, I've always bring up Snapchat, right? I am very bullish on Snapchat. And yesterday, we actually hit right at this top Bollinger Band. Listen, I'm not a timer of the market by no means, especially as an option seller. But it just so happened the stars kind of aligned yesterday where this thing hit the top Bollinger Band and then kind of dropped down, right? And then when it saw this big drop down, I actually started looking at the options chain for just after earnings, not just after earnings, probably like 2 weeks after earnings, to go into some puts, some really low puts. I wasn't looking for something that, you know, has a real big potential of assignment. I was looking for really something. When I look past over the past couple months, I was like, okay, we're kind of seeing this support around that, you know, really that $8-ish level, right? And then we really, when the market dropped, we saw this thing kind of get down to the, you know, on just under 750 level. And I was like, okay, perfect. Let me go take this information that I see. Now, I know this isn't the ideal setup, guys. The ideal setup, obviously, is, you know, waiting till you're towards the bottom of the Bollinger Band and, you know, doing that whole thing, right? But the way the market's kind of been right now, it's just on an absolute tear. And most importantly, right, guys, I had some money in my actual portfolio that I was like, I want to get this to work. Now, it's obviously working for me. I'm collecting that interest, but I wanted to kind of take it up a notch a little bit and just kind of, you know, do a riskier play, a little bit more risky. I put Snapchat in my more riskier bucket. And again, only did one. So let's go show you guys what the actual position is, right? So you could see we have 3 open positions right now, but let's just quickly talk about the Snapchat one. So you could see right here, you sold an opening transaction. Snapchat sold a put, and we collected $17.32. Absolutely fantastic. Love to see it. So what does that look like onto our trading journal? Obviously, guys, none of this stuff is ever financial advice. Your results will vary. You will 100% see different numbers when you are doing this. I'm shooting this the morning after I did this trade. So like, let's use that logic, fam. Let's get it right. But you could see here, I put my my date. Obviously, the date was the 25th. That was yesterday. I did a cash secured put. 8/22 expiration right here. Snapchat symbol. I did the $7.50 put. So again, why did I do the $7.50 puts? Well, I kind of go back and listen, guys. I'm no chart reader. Nobody knows this what's going to happen in the market. But for me, I'm like, you know what? I think this gives me a good balance. I was really shooting for a higher ROI here, guys. The reason for that is I like to be above 2. I really like to be above 2 if possible for me and my risk tolerance. So I was like, I need to jump this up because I had some crappy trades already. And this kind of bumped me up to my 2.5 overall that I like to be at. That's where I like to be. I know some of you are going to beat that sucks. So I'm getting 8, 10% until you're not. And then you're going to lose all those gains. I like to be a little bit more on the conservative side of things, right? You're not going to see me chasing leverage ETFs very rarely. Listen, if I'm doing crazy leverage ETF, guys, somebody has kidnapped me, somebody has hijacked me, right? So somebody might call for help, all right? Maybe one day we'll do a challenge. Like do like a $5,000, you know, a leverage ETF challenge or something like that in the future, but we'll see. Stay tuned. But with that said, we hit a 2.31% return on our collateral. If you don't know what that means, I'm basically the premium divided by my collateral. What is my collateral? Well, $7.50 a share is what I'm saying. I'm willing to buy 100 shares of Snapchat, right? So $7.50 times 100 is $750. That's what we lock up, right? So couple things, right? I saw this. I saw the support right here around 7-ish, 50-ish range. When I looked at the sevens, I didn't want to go much further out, guys. Right? I wanted a less than 30-day expiration. I didn't want to like lock this up for too much. And I was like, you know what? This idea actually, this setup actually fits ideally with my American Airlines cash secured put because they're going to expire on the same day, and it's going to free up a decent amount of capital, just around $3,000. When we factor in our covered call collateral as well, we're just at $4,500, just over $4,500. Our money's kind of out there working right now. So we have the covered call on SoFi, which is most likely going to get sold. That's going to free me up. That's going to give me just over $1,700 in my account. So I'm looking forward to getting rid of the SoFi shares on the first, unless something crazy happens and this thing plummets down. I don't get a sign. That's fine. I'll just be starting to do the cash secured puts and more covered calls on SoFi. And then once my American Airlines stuff, and we'll see what happens with American Airlines. I got my American Airlines $11 puts and then my Snapchat. So you might be thinking, well, Pete, why do you like even Snapchat? So one of the biggest reasons, guys, is I don't know if you guys use Snapchat the way that I use Snapchat. You most likely do, because a lot of people I speak to, it's definitely more of like the way I use it is like with like close family and friends. Like that's the social aspect of it for with me, like people I don't even talk to in a while, just like we keep up to date on each other's lives and stuff like that through Snapchat. But most importantly, like financially wise, why do I like Snapchat? Well, because of the creator fund that they actually do there, right? They have a very great payout for their creators. So a lot of creators are very heavily incentivized to publish out content on their platform because they get paid a lot more. Is it brain rot? Yes, it absolutely is brain rot. I don't make the rules. I just capitalize on them when the opportunity sees fit. But with that said, they do pay their creators pretty well. I would say comparable to what we see here on YouTube AdSense, when you see a lot of YouTubers that are like, oh, how are they making money? Well, they're making money with YouTube AdSense, right? But with that said, I am very bullish on Snapchat, and if I can get it even at 750, I have no problem. And that is the golden rule of selling options, guys, especially selling cash secured puts, right? Is if you are not comfortable owning 100 shares of the company you're selling a put on long term, then you probably shouldn't do it. That's, again, just not financial advice, but for me, it served me well, at least over the past couple years, because I was that degenerate, right? I would go do things that I were just totally just ROI, high risk plays that ended up really getting me burned over time. And the problem with that is, guys, like that one burn, like, again, as option sellers, like we're kind of setting ourselves up to we know what the trade's going to look like for the most part with like a covered call or a cash secured where we get a sign, blah, blah, blah. But like the biggest risk, cash secured puts, in my opinion, are a lot more risky in the sense of like, hey, if the stock actually drops to zero. So why would you go after like doing this on like really sketchy stocks, not stocks that you actually are believing and bullish on, that even if they do drop, even if we see a big market correction and we see a big drop, okay, and let's say I own Snapchat and it's trading at like $5, okay, that sucks. That really sucks because I have to buy it at $7.50. Hopefully I'll still be able to maybe do like 60-day out covered calls, at least get that working for me, right? And then eventually I do believe it would recover and then I could capture my appreciation. At least I have that, right? Now, obviously, who knows what could happen to Snapchat? It could go bankrupt, so to speak, right? But we don't necessarily know that. But as I was saying, so usually as an option seller, we're not somebody that is going to be day trading. We're not day trading. I'm not a day trader. But when you see opportunities like that, I do recommend, if you want to take it up a little, another notch, right? Like watch when things drop down, because you'll see a kind of like that spike of premium, especially on a more high volatile, more higher risk stock like Snapchat. So what's next for the portfolio, guys? So number one, obviously we are still in like earnings, right? We are going into the big one, which is going to be on Tuesday here. SoFi obviously is reporting earnings on Tuesday before open. We're gonna see what happens. We really are, right? On Friday, that's where my plan is that
hopefully I do end up selling my SoFi shares, which I'm totally fine with. Even if SoFi shoots up to $30, sayonara. Maybe I'll start doing the weekly wheel on SoFi, but that's really gonna sketch me out a little bit because it's been on such an absolute bull run right now that eventually we need to stabilize something, and that's like still up in the air. And I think the earnings are really gonna set the tone, at least for the next couple weeks for SoFi. So we're gonna be keeping an eye out on that. There are a bunch of other earnings here, guys. Great, this is a big one, right? We obviously have PayPal happening, Procter and Gamble, Boeing. I mean, there's so many great companies here that I've invested over the years: UPS, Starbucks, Visa. Some of you degenerates with the Mara. Well, we've got not Etsy. We've got Altria. Man, love Altria. One of my favorite Ark Options Strategy stocks. So Microsoft, Meta, Robinhood, QCOM. Right, there's so many great ones. Reddit. Right, so there's a lot. This is going to be a very busy week in terms of earnings season. So you want to be paying attention to it. So what's the play, right? So there's a couple ways you could play it, right? If we see big drops, right? Like for example, American Airlines, right? I saw it took a tumble, great earnings, right? Took a huge tumble, right? Down like 10%, right? So what did I do? I immediately closed out my my previous Campbell Soup position, and then I jumped in with a couple contracts and collected some nice premium on my cover calls, which I'm already or with my cash secured puts, which I'm already up on, and I'm perfectly fine even if I get assigned American Airlines at 11. I'm fine with it. I like 10 personally better. I think American Airlines been on a bit of a tear here recently, like the whole market is. But sometimes we have to kind of account for times like this as option sellers, guys. If you want to join an incredible mastermind community known as the Option Seller School, giving you all the resources and an amazing group of people that share all the different kinds of trade ideas, what they're doing, click the first link in the description of today's video. You're going to learn more about what the Ark Options Strategy is, how we combine 5 sources of premium generation into one simple strategy that really, once you get nailed down, you're not spending more than an hour a week on this. And if you are, you're probably over trading and setting yourself up for failure. So if you want to learn more about that, you're not a toxic person, right? We speak to everybody we invite here because it's a vibe in there, right? And pretty much every single person can attest to that. And number 2 is that you must be financially stable. As you know, this is a strategy that takes money. That's just the unfortunate reality of the situation. But if you want to learn more about that, click the first link in the description of today's video. Guys, remember, sell options, collect premiums, repeat. I'll see y'all tomorrow.